Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're all doing I hope you're having a wonderful day. There is here maybe a little problem with the chat, but that should be resolved in a second. Voila, it is already working. Perfect. So, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, maybe also good evening. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the software names that reported yesterday. We also do have some US jobs data to talk about. There is Broadcom that reports later today, and we can talk a little bit about AMD so far, a little bit more about Google as well, because guess what? Good news keeps on coming. The good news keeps on coming for Google. So we're going to touch on all of it in the next hour. So good morning to Josh. Good morning to YLO. Good morning to everyone joining us this morning. So let's have a look, shall we? Because jobs data just came out, I think 20-30 minutes or so ago. And again, this might maybe push the Fed to cut rates in September, which is now, basically. Which is now. Where are the numbers? I just had it. You know when you have something on X and then suddenly the page refreshes without you even asking, and then it's gone, and then it's gone. Unfortunately. Jose got fired? No, he's just in Florida chilling, so he did not get fired. We'll be back next week. So okay, let's just pull this. Nope. Let's pull this one up. Let's look at some futures as well. So what do we have? We have pre-market basically flat. Okay, basically flat. Last time these numbers updated. In Asia, green. Yesterday it was mixed, but more red than green. Today it's green. Europe is green as well. So in the US, we do have here some numbers. The ADP private payroll reports showed an increase of 54,000 in August. Economists polled by Dow Jones had expected private employers to add 75,000 jobs. The figure is also less than the revised 106,000 in July. Yes, these figures, of course, do get revised every single time. So again, could this be forcing the Fed to really cut, or do they want maybe more data? That's always the question. That's always the question. That said, let's actually have a look at the probability of a cut. So if we go here on CME Group FedWatch, we can see that right now, the probability of a cut sits at 97.6%. That was 86.7% a week ago. Okay, so it seems like we are definitely getting a cut. Well, definitely. A 2.4% chance that we're not getting a cut, but I guess we'll go with the 97, with the 97.6. So we'd also get some trade balance here. The actual came in 78.3 billion. That's a negative. Estimated number 77.9 billion. Last one in July. Wait, so last one was 59.1. July imports rise 5 point. Yeah, when you write the comments, it's a bit all over the place, but thank you anyway for the information. So July imports rise 5.9% month over month. US July exports rise 0.3% month over month. Okay. Use financial juice for numbers. Great site. Okay, but let me finish off with this. So apparently we're going to get a cut in September. Let's see if we can get 2 cuts this year. Currently it sits at, well, it seems like we are. It seems like the market is putting the probability of 2 cuts still. This 0.7% probability of another cut after September, 43% of potentially having a 50 basis points plus a 25 basis points rate cut. 9.2% says that only one. So I guess we'll see, but the numbers are, of course, a bit better. Better meaning we are getting cuts, and cuts should definitely help, especially small caps, especially small caps. Now, financial juice, the website. I have to sign up. Oh, no, I don't have to sign up. Oh, yeah, pretty cool website. So this is the website. Interesting. Very cool website. The feed is delayed. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to pay for this, but okay. Let's add this to the bookmarks. Not bad. See, crowdsourcing here in the chat. Crowdsourcing here in the chat. This is a question, right? Is the cut already factored in? Probably a little bit. For sure. But maybe not the second one. Maybe not the second cut. Maybe the first one, yes, but still, the fact that you're still going to have that cut, I think, could put more fuel into this bull market machine. That's just my prediction. It can be completely wrong, and suddenly we have a cut and the market goes down. It's definitely a possibility. But rate cuts coming down should help. Anything about, yes, so Dlocal, and this is I'll pull it up. This is non-dilutive. It's a secondary offering, but the pricing was released, and I'll just go to our guy MV Cunha. So the pricing was $12.75 for Dlocal. Yesterday, they announced a secondary offering of 15 million Class A shares, all being sold by a major shareholder, General Atlantic. General Atlantic has been with Dlocal for a long, long time. I believe they have like 22% or so of shares. And so this increases the float, which is good because remember, they decided that paying a dividend was a better way for them to reward shareholders instead of buybacks. Now that we are going to get more shares available, I don't know where you lost me, but basically with the local, I will be buying more shares today. Stock wise, we are at, let's see, $13 before the market opens. Can it go lower? Maybe, but I don't see why this thing has been pulled down so much, especially after a very good quarter. So stream that. Yeah, no, we're back. We're back. I don't know what happened here. I did notice that a VPN was on, so maybe that was the problem. But anyways, with the local, it's not dilution. It's basically increasing the float on the market. No need to panic. I am definitely not panicking. I will be buying more shares today, especially after this reaction, because the local, as I've discussed, when they reported and for a long time, excellent company, good management, very good earnings report and quarter. And so, if the market wants to push this down, then why not? Yeah, it does seem like it, right? Because this has been happening already 3 times in a row. But it's crazy because it never happens when I'm not on stream. But yeah, switch it on and off again. Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's always the play here. Let's see what's been happening with these software names right now. So Salesforce down to $241 pre-market. GitLab is at $44, and Figma is probably the one that's getting hit the most. Yeah, we're at $57, $58 or so for Figma right now. The reason, as I've explained in yesterday's video, the reason is quite simple. It's one with Salesforce, for example. The market just wants to see growth accelerate. They did say here the company's internal adoption as customer zero demonstrate the tangible benefit, such as a 40% reduction in support headcount and improved customer satisfaction. Again, they're talking here about agentic enterprise and how AI can help Salesforce. I mean, the growth rates that you're getting with Salesforce are, of course, far from the high growth AI companies that we're seeing right now. But margin wise, they are probably still one of the better ones out there. I do think that next year is going to be a year where you're going to see acceleration in their growth, just also because the year-over-year comparisons are going to be easier for them. And so, yes, Salesforce, there in my eyes, there is value, but then again, you need patience, right? You need patience with this one. As for GitLab, and with GitLab, we do have, I think, an analyst that already commented on the quarter. Let me pull this one up already as well. GitLab, where are you? Oh, we actually had 2 analysts. Aha, 2 for the price of 1. Okay, very good. So let's first start with this. It's down 7% pre-market. Like I said yesterday, it's a good quarter. It's a company that is growing. As you can see here from the key highlights, it's a company that's growing across the board. Growth is definitely decelerating, for sure. But here as well is, or can the company convince the market that AI is a tailwind and not a headwind? Right, this is basically what we're getting with GitLab, so what we're getting with Salesforce, what we're getting with Adobe, and probably a lot of other companies, software companies out there. I mean, so far, it seems like they are doing what they should be doing, or they are still growing. But the market is like, yeah, but maybe not enough, right? Maybe not enough. And I see your comments on Duolingo and Rocket Lab. I will touch on that in a bit. Just want to finish off the actual topic here. So we do have GitLab comment here from Bank of America, and they have a price target of $72 on GitLab. So They reported a strong Q2 fiscal 26. Results were above streets and their estimates. However, the debate will likely fall squarely on its fiscal year 2026 revenue guidance, which was only reiterated, right? Because with AI, the market is anticipating such companies to say, actually, we are seeing some tailwinds, so we are increasing our guidance. Didn't happen. This is raising questions if it's just being conservative or if something more ominous is happening with demand. We believe it's just conservatism, especially considering there are some executive changes happening too. CFO transition, CFO is going to Snowflake, new CIO, new CPO, CMO, lots of three-letter words here. Demand strength can be seen in the second quarter of 2026, fiscal 26 subscription revenue, where growth accelerated to 30.3% year over year from 28.6% last quarter. They continue to believe GitLab is a long-term share gainer in the DevSecOps category. Again, you have to believe in that, of course. Yes, I did touch on the Dlocal stuff, the secondary offering. I'm buying shares today. I think it's an overreaction, and actually, it's a good thing that they're increasing the float. Good thing for us, good thing for the market, good thing for the company, because maybe now they can do buybacks instead of paying a dividend. As for Mizuho, same thing here. Positives for the quarter, but again, the guide was maybe a bit disappointing. And they believe here investor sentiment is too dire, with GitLab trading at only 5.5 times calendar year 2026 estimate for revenue for around 20% expected growth. We also believe that GitLab's second half guidance appears conservative, even with some go-to-market changes underway. We maintain our outperform rating, but modestly lower our price target to $52. That was $55. And what did we say? Stock wise, we're at 43. We're at $43 right now for GitLab. As for Figma, I mean, are we surprised that this is happening? Probably not. Right? Probably not. Because it's an IPO, super hyped IPO, was oversubscribed, stock went up like crazy. And yeah, and then I'm trying to look here if we do get some if we do have already some analysts saying anything, but I don't think we have anything here for Figma just yet. But yeah, Figma is they went public at the right time, right? There's no denying that they went public at the right time. But then when you go public, you of course you get that comparison, right? Because suddenly the market can start and compare each and every quarter the results, the growth rates, how much you're going to pay to buy a piece of that company. And look, it's growing fast, right? It's growing fast. Gross margin here 90%, net dollar retention rate 129%, but that's coming down a little bit, but still it's 29% above that 100% threshold there. So that's good. It's just that it was extremely expensive. Okay, it was very, very expensive. It's a company that was worth $60 billion or so at one point. We're now going to be worth 30 billion dollars or so, probably a bit less, and still it's what, $1 billion in revenue. Yes, it's growing quickly, but when you, and again, I know it's not the same company as Adobe, etc., but when you look at how much you're getting from Adobe, margin wise, free cash flow, forward PE, price to free cash flow, whatever, or even trailing PE, yeah, you start to ask the question, do I need to buy Figma at $30 billion? Probably not. Probably not. There will come a point where it will become very interesting. There will come a point. I don't think that point is there yet. Remember, the price of the IPO for Figma was $33. We're still significantly higher than that. We're still significantly higher than that. So yeah, you can like the company, that doesn't make it a good buy at these prices. Plus, there is also, I think, lockup period expiring. So that could also have a negative impact on the stock. Talking about lockup period expiring, CoreWeave is under $90. I do like only last week I did open a position. CoreWeave went above $100, looked like a genius, and now, well, we're basically my average is $91.91. Could I be adding here? Maybe, maybe not. $1 difference, $2 difference. I rather wait to see where the market will take this, because we are here at a crucial point where it was previously a support area. Now, I know. Duolingo, right? This is the talk of the town. Duolingo. Look at this. Duolingo from its peak is down now 50% from its peak, and from the earnings pump, it is down 41% or so. There is just a lot of negative sentiment around Duolingo. The business, right? The reason why it pumped here is because they delivered an excellent quarter. That excellent quarter is not suddenly a bad quarter because we are down 40%. No, it's still the same. It's still the same. What I will say is that here, Duolingo was extremely expensive. It was extremely expensive. What I will also say is that Duolingo here was not cheap, was less expensive. What I am saying today here, Duolingo is very attractive. Now, again, with these types of names that do get pushed down because, not because of the business, but because of the narrative. Because, oh, AI is destroying Duolingo, and so stock needs to go down. Market doesn't really know what's going to happen next quarter. So could this be dead money for the next 3 months until we have, of course, the next earnings report? Dead money? Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's going to be 3 months where stock will need to find a zone where it's trading, and then the next leg up will happen after the upcoming earnings report. Could definitely happen. Right now, like I said yesterday, 275 support back here, April 2027, April 7, 2025, basically the tariff bottom, and also a bottom here in March. Could this be a bottom again? Let's see. RSI is quite low, might even be oversold pretty soon. Now, Duolingo, if we go and look at the business instead of just looking at candles, because you're buying businesses, not candles. Duolingo, yes, right? If you're looking at these pricing metrics, let me zoom in a little bit. Valuation-wise, these pricing metrics, right? Trailing, ooh, super high PE, doesn't make any sense. Well, again, it's not cheap, it's less expensive. Plus, when a company is expected to grow EPS 58.3% compounded for the next 2 years, then that PE is definitely expected to come down quite rapidly. Plus also the fact that the stock is being crushed helps push down those pricing metrics. This is also a company with very good margins. Right? Margins are going up. I'll show you. Now, I know the people will say, oh, but last quarter, monthly active users went down. Yes, monthly active users went down a little bit quarter over quarter after it went up significantly the quarter before. And so you have that usual churn. But the most important metric, this is not me saying, this is management, is daily active users. Why is that? Well, I'll answer that question right after I show you this. Gross profit margin for Duolingo over the past 6 years has gone from 70.7% to now 72%, while revenue has grown at a compound annual growth rate of 58%, and free cash flow margin sits at 37.1%, whereas in 2019, it was negative 2.29. Okay, let's not go back that far. Let's go 2022. 13%. So this is a company that is growing while margins are also becoming better. So margins are expanding. Then going back to the other point, the monthly active users versus the daily active users. So if we push here daily active users quarterly, you can see that it has been increasing each and every quarter, even last quarter, despite Q4 to Q1 being a very, very good quarter, right? Look at this big, big jump. Huge jump, much bigger than before. Now, why is daily active users for Duolingo a better metric than monthly active users? It's pretty simple. Duolingo, you want to learn stuff. If you want to learn stuff, it needs to be a daily thing, not a monthly thing. Okay? If you want to learn math, if you want to learn music, chess, or languages, you have to do it each and every day. You don't have to, well, you can do it each and every month, but you're literally not going to learn anything. And so this is why this metric here is important, more important than the monthly active users. Also, another important metric, right, from a investor standpoint, of course, is this, is paid subscribers. Paid subscribers has gone up 10x since Q1 2020. Yeah, okay, but you're looking at way too far. So let's look at, what is it? Q2 2023, 2 years. 2 years growth, compounded growth rate, 44.7%. Okay? More and more people are paying for Duolingo today. I understand that looking at the stock might make people think that this is a bad business because it has come down. No, it's just a stock that ran up quite quickly. It can happen. Expensive territory, overvalued. Not expensive territory, still a very good business. Yes, it's true that there is AI that can cloud the future of this company. But if you didn't know, Duolingo just does use ChatGPT for Duolingo Max. So it's not, in this case, AI is making this business, this model better. Yes, we have seen Google Translate come out, a new feature come out last week, etc., etc. Yeah, no, Duolingo will not 10x. Okay, Duolingo will not 10x, but I think that Duolingo does beat the market from here on out. What did I say? Yeah, no, Duolingo, in my eyes, it's not just, yeah, it's about learning a new language skill, whatever you want to call it. But there is also that gamification aspect of it. There is that gamification aspect of it plus the social aspect. If you create your own, let's say, version of Duolingo, first of all, you're not going to create your own version of Duolingo because you need the gamification and the social aspect. You can create a language learning or translate app. Yes, you can, but that's not Duolingo. Okay, that's the big difference here. And to end the discussion here, if you don't like the name, don't buy it. Don't try and find ways to hate a name or find ways to try and understand why someone else wants to buy this name. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Very simple. Like, look, we have a full list of stocks on the watch list here. If you don't like Duolingo, maybe you like CoreWeave. Maybe you like Marvel. Maybe you like Iron. Iron, I do hope this thing comes down a little bit more so I can buy more. We have Rocket Lab, which crashed yesterday 11%. Why is that? It's a very good question. I haven't seen anything about Rocket Lab yesterday for it to be dropping 11%. But then again, what, we're back to prices not seen since last Monday. Okay, we've had also 3 green days where the stock, I think at one point was also up 8% or so. And so now we're down 11%. ASD Space Mobile yesterday was also down 7%. Why? I haven't seen any reason. Although with AST, of course, there is still that aspect of the market is still anticipating and waiting to see how much revenue is going to come in the near term. With Rocket Lab, of course, there is also the anticipation of Neutron launching. But when? Well, that took a while to load. When Neutron is going to launch, of course, that's going to change the whole perception around Rocket Lab. If Neutron crashes, yeah, then can see that the stock will crash as well. Um, but with AST, again, the stock doubled. Stock was at $22, $23. I did a video about that right here. Then we went from $22, $23 all the way to $60 in a matter of, what was it? A month and a half. Okay, so you more than double, almost triple in a month and a half. And now it's experiencing a little pullback here of 25%, which is good. Okay, this is healthy. You want to have these types of pullbacks. Things cannot go up and up and up forever, especially not companies that generate very little revenue at the moment. I did not buy Rocket Lab yesterday. Uh, Last time I bought Rocket Lab was at $41 or so it wasn't that long ago. So I'm not in a rush to buy everything that's suddenly down a little bit. I have a plan. Like I said, Duolingo is probably going to be on the TCA list right now. Dlocal, the I just saw a funny comment. Dlocal is definitely on the buy list right now, and Iron is I wait for a tiny pullback, and then I will pull the trigger to buy a little bit more of Iron. We'll see what happens with Nebius. It does seem like it really does not want to fill the gap here from earnings. So fine, I guess I will need to accumulate more shares in the 60s. Apparently, not only am I Bruno Fernandez during the weekend, but I am also White Amit during the week. So, am I buying BMNR? So, I did a video about BMNR, I think last week or so, um, explaining the whole thing here. I talked about BMNR, I talked about MicroStrategy, I talked about crypto treasuries, NAV, and all of that in order for you to really understand what the heck is going on. So, look, with BMNR, in order for me to go into it heavily, it's never going to be a big position, but it's because maybe I want exposure to crypto, stablecoins, Ethereum, and I don't want to just buy Ethereum. I want to buy BMNR, which is probably a leverage play, let's be honest, because if Ethereum goes up 2x, I do expect BMNR to go up more than 2x. Although right now there is a little disconnect with Ethereum holding up and BMNR dropping a little bit. But then again, it's still up 10x since the end of June. So there is that. Plus, there is the aspect of Tom Lee. You buy BMNR because you trust Tom Lee and you trust his vision of Ethereum and the future of the stock market, of financial transactions, lots of stable coins, of course, on Ethereum technology. I think Circle USDC is on Ethereum, and so you trust all of that. You believe all of that, and of course the fact that BMNR maybe does use their capital in an efficient way, right? When to buy Ethereum, when to buy their own stock. Important to note. So again, it's one of those names where I'm asking myself, do I need it or do I not? Because I have a feeling that a lot of people buy it just because, right? Every other channel or whatever community is buying it. Tom Lee has it. He's the chairman. By the way, yeah, very important. Tom Lee is the chairman. It's not the CEO or anything. It's the chairman of Bitmine. And so, yeah, I don't know. Do I need it? Don't I need it? I can definitely see how this thing can explode in the future, like explode on the way up, not implode. Question is, do I want to ride it or not? I do think that I have other. I can. I just do think that I have other companies in my portfolio that I like more, that I understand way more. And so, yeah, that's why I just add today to companies that I do own. and I've opened a position last week into CoreWeave because I do like CoreWeave, Nebius, Iron, what they're doing, and etc. etc. There is a specific video coming out later today talking about these players and the AI bubble aspect of all of it. Is it going to pop? Is it not going to pop? Um, and I will add some Amazon and Google information to that video so you get the whole picture here. I do want to thank here the super chat. I appreciate that. Figma down 40%, bought at $100, sell this year or hold. Unfortunately, um, what I will say you might not like. So, but since it is a super chat, what's the point of saying what you want to hear? I will tell you what you might not want to hear, but it might actually be more helpful. I still think it can drop lower, but because you bought it at $100, you liked it at $100, you should be loving it under 60. The thing here is that yes, you can dollar cost average, but it also depends on how much you put in at 100 to really bring down your average and make it make sense for you. It's a good business, right? It's a good business, but even good businesses, as I've said, even good businesses, there is a correct price to pay for all of it. I'll give you the prime example, what I've been saying before. Prime example is the trade desk, right? The trade desk is the prime example of good business, bad price. Good business, very bad price. Good business, much better price. Good business, not good price, and now it's a better price. Sometimes it is really that simple. Sometimes it is really that simple. You might say, oh, but yeah, you're just saying that now in hindsight. Nope. I did make a video specifically talking about specific names before they report earnings, and the trade desk was in that video. And I said, to me, it does not make sense anymore. It made sense here, 50, 40s. Last time it crashed, it did not make any sense in the high 80s, low 90s. So yeah, same thing here with Figma. BMNR is not even on the Giro. It is on eToro. I don't know if you have access to that, but it is on eToro. Although I did already check yesterday. There you can only buy, or I could have only bought 169 shares per order. So you can do 2 orders, 169, 169. But yeah, I'm not surprised that it's not available on all platforms at the moment. Although it is a very, very liquid stock right now. Where is Amit? I don't know. I don't know where Amit is. I am not his secretary, so I don't know. Probably he's either traveling or he's arranging his new apartment. One of the two. One of the two. But am I not enough? Am I not enough? Are you not entertained? Am I not enough here? Ungrateful. White Amit Bruno Fernandez. So I think was invited to co-host. I didn't know AIPCon 8 was not. Yeah, if that's happening, then he's definitely traveling. I didn't know they already had AIPCon 8. Let's see. Because usually I see it pop up on my feed. Yeah, it's today. So yeah, so he's probably traveling. For that. So you're probably going to see him in the presentation because it is today, September 4th, Thursday. You know, when the markets are not open on Monday, it screws up the whole my whole week thing. Like yesterday, I thought we were Tuesday. Today, I thought we were still Wednesday, but now we're already Thursday. Tomorrow is already Friday, almost the weekend. Quite crazy. Quite crazy week. But yeah, what else did I want to say? Yeah, exactly. Another Amit, the guy who ruled on Google's antitrust. But the results were good, so we're not going to complain. The results were good. Yesterday, Google finished up the day $230, new all-time highs. So we are happy. We are happy. Plus, um, we did get some news about, and it's something we talked about before, Google, Gemini, and Siri. Let me pull up the writing. So, since you all asked about Amit, here he is on the screen because the guy does tweet like 24/7 or so. So, Apple and Google have reached a deal to have Gemini power a new Siri platform as per Bloomberg. Apple is now reportedly planning to launch AI search inside of Siri next year. Could potentially be a big deal. Could potentially be a big deal. I do wonder if there might also be like a Google Cloud type of deal inserted here. Because, and I'm already going to ruin my next video, but since you're all here, especially the guys that want to see white Amit on the screen, I'll give you a little sneak peek. So this came out as well. Google pushes TPU aggressively, challenging NVIDIA's GPU, and of course we've seen these headlines time and time again. But the headline here is basically that Google partners with small cloud providers to host TPUs in their data centers, challenging NVIDIA's GPU dominance. We've had the deal, right, with FluidStack and TeraWulf. So FluidStack and others will, all of these pop-ups here make me crazy. FluidStack and others will deploy TPUs aiming to expand AI customer base and reduce reliance on NVIDIA. Now, a lot of people have already said, oh, but maybe they'll work with Iron, maybe they'll work with Nebius, maybe they'll work with Cypher and whatever Hut 8 or any other smaller player out there. The thing here is that one, we had that FluidStack TeraWulf Google deal already, so that's one option. Second of all, Nebius, we know that that's not going to happen anytime soon because Manuel M. Vicuña had an interview with the co-founder of Nebius 2 weeks ago, basically asked a question about AMD. And they said, look, we are now good partners with NVIDIA, strategic investors. And so, no, we're not seeing a need to look at any other solution unless we suddenly see a huge demand from our clients that they do need something else. Of course, Google TPUs are completely different than an AMD. So we'll see what happens. So we know already it's not going to be Nebius, or I think it's not going to be Nebius. Could it be an Iron? Could it be a Cypher? Could it be any other players? Yeah, probably, because it does seem like Google wants to move much, much faster. They said, look, if we had more capacity, we would be growing much faster. And of course, making sure that their TPUs get used more and more, because Google is the one of the big players that is less reliant than NVIDIA, less reliant than the others, right? Than the AWS, than the Microsoft, etc., because they have the TPUs, which is one of their huge advantages over everyone else. It's the fact that the cost structure around that is probably best in class. But they also want, of course, to have a very big developer ecosystem. And so the more people that use Google's TPUs, the better it will be for them. The more that they can expand Google Cloud, the more that they can grow. And I mean, Google Cloud, I'll show you this. Google Cloud is going to be probably $100 billion business revenue-wise. 2 years from now, I think. Let's pull it up. I think 2 years from now. Eddie here, thank you very much for the super chat. Thanks for streaming when Amit and Jose abandoned us. Well, Jose abandons me because I've been doing this solo now I've been solo leveling for the last couple of days here. So, but yeah, Amit is abandoning, but it's good. So at least there are more people in my chat here and I don't talk to myself for an hour and a half or so. And yeah, thank you, by the way, everyone that is joining the stream this morning. There is, of course, a market open happening in 14 minutes. Now, Google Cloud is right now, well, it's probably already over $50 billion in revenue for the last 12 months. and it's growing super, super fast, right? It's growing here 31%. And so again, the question here is very simple. What type of multiple would you put on this business? A business that is currently at a $50 billion run rate, growing 31% with, and this will load in a bit, or not. Hey, where did my custom metrics go? Basically, with expanding operating margins. Um, how big of a multiple would you put on that business? 10x multiple, 20x multiple, 15x multiple? What type of multiple would you put on it? Because if you put a 10x multiple, that's a $500 billion business right now. 20x, that's a trillion. 15, 750 billion. So you can, of course, play around with all of it, but just to show you, and I'll show you the margin, Google Cloud margins. But this is, again, a business that is growing fast revenue-wise, but also margins are expanding. We were now, last quarter, 20.7%. AWS is in the high 30s. So there is still a long, long way to go here. And so, yeah, to me, Google is still a no-brainer. It's still a no-brainer right now because even though we have seen a nice run up more recently, even though we are closing in on that $3 trillion in market cap, we are still trading at 21 times forward PE. That's nothing. That's nothing. And it's still a company that's expected to grow nicely, top and bottom line. The reliance on search is also coming down. Search as a percent of overall revenue is getting smaller and smaller, while all the other businesses are becoming bigger and bigger, right? The YouTube, cloud, especially device, platform, subscription, you name it, all of that is, of course, becoming bigger and bigger. And we're not even going to talk about Waymo because Waymo is still in the other bets category. And so, yeah, why I go back to the question I asked yesterday. Why wouldn't Google be worth $4 trillion today? Or why shouldn't Google be worth $4 trillion today? And yes, I've seen the comment here. Yes, it's not a 10x from here. Okay, it's not a 10x from here. Does it outperform the market? I think so. It outperformed the markets. It's also, I would say, risk reward wise, probably still one of the best ones out there. And so why shouldn't it be second to Nvidia today? I don't see why. I don't see why. So that's the answer. I don't see why it shouldn't be a $4 trillion company today. But is it my best idea out there? No. I think the best idea out there is this. This is probably the best idea out there. Jeans. American Eagle Outfitters, up 27.5% pre-market. This is where the money's at, ladies and gentlemen. It's it's something else. I gotta say, it's a nice pair of jeans. It's a nice pair of jeans, and who knew that these things do go up quite quickly? It's it's a nice pair of jeans. I mean, we've seen Abercrombie go up quite a lot. We've seen other non-AI names go up quite a lot as well. And so there is definitely value to be found in these things. Definitely a lot of value to be found in these things. Going back to normal topics, more nerdy topics here. Oscar has been going up nicely these days. It's not the only thing going up nicely these days, but Oscar is going up. It's been recovering. Has been recovering over the past couple of weeks, actually. Couple of weeks. They did have an analyst conference yesterday, They did have an analyst conference yesterday, and the comments that they shared there were quite positive for the back half of this year and 2026 as well. If we go and have a look at that, so revenue guidance was raised. That we knew this already, but the key takeaways here is that the worst is behind us. Okay, the worst is behind us. I had very good jokes this week. I have to say, I had very good jokes this week. Probably my better week when it comes to a stand-up comedy. So utilization trends have continued to moderate in Q3, now almost back to what was expected for the risk in the book, significantly reducing anxiety about core performance. So that's very, very good to hear. That was basically also right. The morbidity levels across the board were quite high. That's what crushed also United Health, Oscar, Centene, and all the others. So the fact that we're getting these types of comments is very good. Is very good. The impact of members losing subsidies due to dual enrollment and failure to file and reconcile has been modest and immaterial, with the risk characteristics of the departing population being neutral to slightly positive for market morbidity, contrary to earlier concerns. So, again, the comments that we're getting here are comments that were the primary reason why these types of names got crushed before. And now that suddenly we're seeing signs um, of things becoming better or maybe not becoming worse, that's why we're seeing the stock react quite positively. Also, don't remember the 2027 guidance is still in place. So that's still good. The pricing strategy for 2026, that remains unchanged from what we've talked about during the earnings review. Enhanced subsidies as upside. So this was also quite interesting. While 2026 pricing assumes the expiration of enhanced subsidies, the company views a potential extension as a net positive upside to financial performance. There is cautious optimism for an extension, likely tied to a continuing resolution, even if it occurs later in the year or during open enrollment, with brokers and regulators expected to facilitate enrollment. So here again, we have our worst case scenario already going into next year. And suddenly we still have that worst case scenario, but suddenly we get comments where actually things can actually become a bit better and better. And when you have a company like this, which is, in my opinion, very, very well positioned, very well managed, making use also of AI to make sure that margins are expanding, that costs are coming down, you will be seeing these types of reactions going forward. Um, so yeah, with this company, the 2 months ago, I knew very, very little about the US healthcare market and all the rules and this ICRA right here, which is a very, very weird name, or ACA, Medicare, Medicaid. But the reason why I chose this is because of management, the CEO. The CEO has an incredible, incredible career, track record as well. If you want to learn more about him, there is a very good podcast on Invest Like the Best, where he basically talks about his whole life, personal life, professional life, the fact that he could have died 20 years ago because I think of a ski accident. Um, like his son was also very sick. It's an incredible journey, incredible guy as well. And that's the main reason why I chose this, because with companies, essentially, you can have a great company, very bad management. It's a very bad investment. You can have maybe an average business, but very good management. That very good management can turn an average business into an excellent investment. With Oscar, I do think that you have a good business, lots of tailwinds with some headwinds, but good management that can turn some of these headwinds into tailwinds. And I think that's what we're getting right here. Plus the fact that this is still a small company, right? A sub $5 billion company in a market that's worth hundreds of billions of dollars. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. And since we've been talking, some people have been talking in the chat about 10x's, Oscar is probably a potential, 10x candidate for sure, for sure. Um, let's see. Yeah, imagine a new marketing campaign from Open Door with Sydney Sweeney there. I will not say my joke from yesterday because that would be too much. That would be too much. I think you're more Gerard Piqué than Bruno Fernandes. I don't see Shakira here, so maybe I am like Gerard Piqué. No Amit market. Yes, there is. White Amit market open is here today. Amit has more pressing things to do, like presenting at Palantir AI PCon. But here we are. Here we are doing much better work. I would say doing much better work. By the way, we also had AMD. AMD had also an analyst conference. I know now it's the season of analyst conferences where we do get a lot more information. And so the usual stuff, they talk about their business, the MI 308 inventory write off, etc., etc. They did also say that they're actively engaged with over 40 nations for sovereign AI initiatives, highlighting a broad and diversified customer strategy. 2026 is going to be a big year for AMD. 25 this year is already a big year for AMD, but 26 is really a big year with the launch of the MI400 series. That's going to be a very, very big deal for them because they will be able to really compete with a full rack scale solution. And I think that's a game changer for them. They did also tell us that they're expanding their customer base, securing growth from existing hyperscale clients like Microsoft, Meta, and Oracle, while also adding new customers such as Tesla and X, or in this case, XAI. So again, more things that we've known about before, right? The $500 billion market, etc., etc. Stock did not really react much, but with AMD, again, like I said, with AMD, it's and I know there's a minute to the market open. Don't worry, I have my watch in front of me. But with AMD, it's also we had an insane run. Now we're having a small pullback. It is very healthy to see these types of things. It is very, very healthy to see these types of things. When will I add? If we don't go into 140s, then I guess I will just be adding pretty soon at the prices we're at right now. And with that, the market is about to open. With that, the market is about to open. I do not have a bell. Usually, Jose is here with his ding, 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 ding. But maybe I can just do some noise. We are open. Ding, 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 ding. No, I don't have. Who has bells? Like other than Amit, who has a cowbell in his house? Other than farmers and Amit. I don't have a cowbell, but yeah, ding, ding, ding. Market is open. Market is open. This is basically what we're getting right now. The heat map will, of course, update in a matter of a couple of seconds. But on the left here, on your right, on your left, we have already some names that are down heavily. So Dlocal is down 8.2%, Duolingo down 3%, Bitmine is down 3%, Iron is down 1%, not much. CoreWeave is down another 2%. The rest is down almost 1%, but not by much. Even a PayPal is down because why not, right? Why not? Who is green? That's the question. Who is green? Oscar is green, up 4%. You see, when Jose is not here, Oscar is green quite a lot of times. Quite a lot of times. Meta is up 2.4, Amazon is up 2.4, Reddit 1.5. Reddit has been doing very well. HIMS is up 1.8. Rocket Lab is also up after being crushed yesterday. Palantir is up 0.3.4%. Robinhood 0.75. And so if we do refresh that heat map, this is it. Not much of a big difference, right? Lots of stocks are down, but not by much. Google, after being up 9% yesterday. It's only down 0.7, so the red here looks very dramatic, but it's not such a big deal. Meta is green. We do have Broadcom report later today. So Broadcom is at $306, $1.44 trillion in market cap. That's going to be a very interesting one later today. Texas Instruments is down 6%. I don't know if they reported yesterday or not. Qualcomm is down a little bit. AMD is down. Adobe down 3%, probably because of Figma, although it definitely did not it did not get the pump of Figma when it went public. So it's like a double whammy for Adobe. Now, what's worthy of buying today other than Dlocal? Probably that's one. Dlocal, Duolingo, maybe, yeah, maybe as well. Other than that, not much. Let's see what Salesforce is doing. Salesforce is down 7.4%. 7.4% down for Salesforce. GitLab is down 8.3%. And Figma is down 20. Whoa. Figma is down 20%. 20% still, and it's oversold. Still much higher than IPO price. Still much higher than the IPO price. You look more like Jorginho. Really? Do I look more? Does Jorginho and Bruno Fernandes look alike? They both. Yeah, Jorginho, because he's Italian, but he's Brazilian as well. And now so I have, what's the movie called with James McAvoy where he has like multiple personalities? Scar? No, Scar. Don't think that's a thing. That's like, so I'm Bruno Fernandes, Jorginho, Gerard Piqué, Arnie, White Amit. We're already at 5 here. I wonder what other names I could be getting here. Why is Amazon and Meta? Why are Amazon and Meta up? Let's find out. Let's find out together, because both of them are up 3%, 2.5% for a company of, that size. It's split. Scar. Scar. It's not even a movie. Scar is just the bad guy. No, he's the bad guy in The Lion King. It's like so with Amazon, what do I have here? With Amazon, I have one post here about Anthropic adding around 100 basis points to Amazon AWS growth now, but could hit 400 basis points per quarter once Cloud 5 ramps. Its API business alone may deliver around $1.6 billion to AWS in 2025. So that's Amazon. Meta, we'll find out here as well. Do I still think that CoreWeave, compared to last week, today is maybe a little bit better than last week, but yes, I still believe it is a good company, although I prefer Nebius, which is why I own more Nebius than CoreWeave. With Meta, I see nothing. Usually, if there is something, some of these big accounts that copy-paste stuff will just post it. And so far, we see nothing for Meta at the moment. But they do have an event coming up pretty soon, where I think they'll also show us their new AR glasses, maybe. Am I a football fan? By football, you mean the real football, like the game you play with your foot and the ball, not the pigskin egg-shaped type of ball. American football. Yes, the real football, soccer. I am a big fan of that. Yes, I am. So what? Yeah, it does seem like we have almost 50-50, red to green. Dlocal still here at good prices. I don't see myself not buying Dlocal today. I just don't see it. Why not? It's just such a good company. Iron is down a little bit, but again, not by much. Nebius is holding up. Nvidia is holding up, yeah, with the 50-day moving average. So that's good. What is AMD doing? AMD is also, that's funny, AMD and Nvidia right above that 50-day moving average. SoFi is also doing well. I know we've had a conversation, I think, not that long ago about SoFi and Upstart and why Upstart might be a good thing to buy, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I don't know. Again, why would you buy Upstart when you can buy SoFi? That's the question. Um, it's like you probably get an Upstart inside of SoFi plus all the rest, plus all the rest. So it's still an amazing company to have to hold. Remember where everyone was freaking out about SoFi dilution stock offering, blah blah blah, and the stock went down after a great earnings report, which was here. Ah, a long time ago, huh? Was a long time ago. Yeah. Robinhood is holding up at $101 as well here. Robinhood has been probably one of my biggest regrets, because if you go on the channel and you go search for Robinhood, I talked and I held Robinhood $8, $10, um, sold after really a quick 2x, and then I didn't follow it that closely. But yeah, this thing right here, that crash from $65 to $30 back in April, this should have been my, like, we go back into Robinhood. Like, this was such a no-brainer. You're like, yeah, in hindsight, of course, a no-brainer. No, this was here a definite no-brainer, just like with a lot of other companies there. But Robinhood is, yeah, I wish I did have it still in my portfolio. But again, can't catch them all. Can't catch them all. It did allow me to buy Nebius at the low 20s. So at least there is that. At least there is that. Uh, the real football. Yeah, the real football. Am I the basic Bayern? No, I'm not a Bayern München fan. I am a Chelsea fan. The one and the only. The one and the only. And no, nope. Anderlecht is far from the team I support in Belgium. The team I support in Belgium is Standard de Liège. I know they've been doing anything but winning over the last couple of years. But no, my primary club is Chelsea. It's my obsession. It's my obsession, and that's why I do have some gray hair at the top of my head. It's because of them, and it's because of Nadal. Like, both of them caused me way too many heart problems. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, yeah, what does Weeble do these days? Weeble is, still at $13. Okay, so not much. So not much. Still at $13. Yeah. What is the chat supporting these days? I mean, not these days. I hope you're not changing clubs every single week. I've been supporting Chelsea for 20 years as someone that doesn't even live in London. So I started supporting Chelsea when we beat Barcelona 20 years ago in the Champions League. Everybody was a fan of Barca because Ronaldinho was also there. And I was like, you know what? Screw everyone else. I'm taking the other side. Worked out pretty well. Worked out pretty well. But yeah, we are world champions. We are world champions, and we are the best club in London. Although that's not really that difficult to do since Arsenal and Spurs suck. So, yeah. What's going on here? Why are we seeing more red than green? This is not how it's supposed to work. This is not how it's supposed to work. Although I did say at the start of the week, I do wish we do go down a little bit more, because things didn't look as attractive as we thought it would in September. For everyone that's joining us today because regular Amit is not here, but white Amit is. September is, of course, on average, the worst month out of all of the other months since 1928. On average, it's down 1.2%. Of course, we didn't start the month quite good, but it's also a month where long-term investors should uh, tell themselves, actually, it's a pretty good month. It's a pretty good month to buy stocks. Um, 2025 is, of course, a very strange year because of tariffs and trade wars or discussions, deals, whatever you want to call it. High interest rates. Do we get rate cuts? Do we not get rate cuts? So all of that, of course, impacts the whole year and the stock market. And just because on average it's down 1.2% does not mean that in 2025 it will be the same thing. Okay. August is usually not a great month, and I think August was a pretty good month for us. September started off bad. Maybe next week we do have inflation data coming on. We do have a Fed meeting later this month. Rate cuts are expected, and so we'll see. We'll see. I am always looking for good deals, right? We rather buy when things are very red than when things are very green. It's just because we like deals, right? When you go into a store, I know you've probably heard this example countless times, but it's true. You go into a dealership or into a store, and if you see, let's say, a pair of On, right? Because nobody buys Nikes anymore, apparently. But if you see a pair of On, which are always very expensive, if you suddenly see, oh, it's 20% off, you're not going to complain. You're probably going to buy. If you wanted a new pair of shoes, you're probably going to buy a pair of Ons for 20% off. And that's why I'm looking at these. Like I said, Dlocal Duolingo is probably what I'm going to add a little bit more. Dlocal more heavily than Duolingo. As for the rest, okay, Iron now down almost 4% is getting there. Is getting there. My average with Iron is in the $16. So, okay, if I add a little bit more, the average is going up, but I don't care. I just want more shares. That's the end goal. I want more shares. More shares at a good price, of course. More shares at a good price. Nebius is always on that watch list to buy. If we can get back in the 50s, that would be great. That would be great. Bitmine is down another 5% today. What is Ethereum doing? Because that's ETH. Where are you? Here. You see, it's still holding. It's been around the same price for almost a month now, $4,300 or so. So that's pretty good. Oscar up 11%. Well, what? No, Oscar is up 3.6%. I thought this was a glitch here. HIMS is up 4.5%. And I'm not saying I have a crystal ball, but I did say every time it meets the 200-day moving average, it might spend a day or two or three under it, but historically it has been rebounding above that 200-day moving average. And no, I don't hold a position in HIMS. I just follow the company. We do have quite a lot of football fans here. Benfica, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Arsenal. Sorry for that. We have here an OG. I've been supporting Chelsea since Gianluca Vialli. May he rest in peace. So very, very long-term fan. Inter Milan. Okay, respect. It's going to be quite an interesting season, I think, for the Italian league. Oh, and we even have a Manchester United fan here. What a shame. But you have here Bruno Fernandes. So here I am. World champions mean nothing. Yeah, it means nothing to losers. But to winners, it means quite something. And we even have a Wolverhampton fan here. That's quite something. I also know we do have a Crystal Palace fan here in the chat. in the chat. We have Juve, we have Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool, man, they had quite a good season last season in the Premier League. It's going to be. I wonder what will happen this year. Because what will you do with Alexander Isak and Eketike? Which, by the way, Eketike is a name that you can read from both sides. If you how do you call it? Palindrome? I think so. Palindrome. Let's see. I don't know how we palindrome. Yes, palindrome. Huh, so good. I am very good today. Um, so yeah, what price am I going to buy iron? What are we today? 27. If we can go a little bit lower, 25, but then again, does it really matter that much? Probably not. Probably not. But if we stay red like 3-4% today, then maybe I'll start adding a little bit more shares into iron, because it still is a small, like I have 650 shares at $16 and something, so it still is a relatively small speculative position. But yeah, I have Nebius, CoreWeave, and then iron as sizes of these types of plays. Let's see what happens with CoreWeaves, because we do know that the lockup period has expired. We do know that there has been some selling there as well. But if we can hold here quite close to that $90, I think it could be another good buying area. Applied Digital did pull back a little bit. We were at $17.50. We're now at 14. We do see a little pullback. It was a previous top here back in June. And I appreciate that, Jose. I appreciate that. However, Captain Harris, Olympiacos. Yeah, I didn't know if I knew we had so many real football fans here, maybe even a lot of Premier League fans, I would have shared I could still share my Premier League fantasy league. I know we've already started, but at least you will be, if you're in it, you'll be in it next year as well. Let me share it. Although I started the year horribly. Horribly. Where is it? FinTweet FC. Copy auto join. So whoever wants to join the league, I shared the link. I know we already started, but you can still join if you want. And then if you join, you'll be automatically in it next year. So I know not every day you're going to join me, because white Amit is today, regular Amit is going to be back tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm actually off. So do with that what you want. Bring out my football shirt. Well, in front of me, behind the camera, there is actually a signed Eden Hazard shirt from Chelsea, but that's in a frame. F1 as well. Yes, we are back in Monza later this week. Poor Lando. The guy had bad luck last week. Mentally, it's going to be tough to come back. But then if he really wants to come back, then you win Monza and you're back on track. I do wonder if Ferrari is going to finish the race, because these guys are really something else. AMD is down 2% or so. So again, we're at that 50-day moving average. It's not a bad area if it does hold, right? It's not a bad area. Rocket Lab is holding up a little bit right now. Nothing too crazy. And by the way, there are plenty of names that we talk about that is not here on the list. So if you want me to look at a name, do let me know in the chat. Yes, I am a part-time couch comedian. So sometimes couch investor, sometimes couch comedian. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. I am a Max fan, yes. I did meet Max in Miami earlier this year. I met actually all of all of them, other than the Ferrari duo, because they were not very nice. They were not very nice, but who cares? Um, Alexander met Ivanovich and Maria at a restaurant. Both of them at the restaurant? Um, nice. Nice. Sale point. Sale point? What is sale point? Okay, again, this doesn't tell me much. Sale point, let's have a look. Sale point. I know someone asked here about Fortinet. I still view Fortinet um, as one of the cheapest cybersecurity name that is still doing well. It's not as sexy as a CrowdStrike or a Zscaler. Zscaler had a very good earnings a couple of days ago. But Fortinet I think is a good pick. SailPoint provides solutions to enable various identity security. So also a type of cybersecurity name out there. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and the timing of it was just horrendous, horrendous for Charles. Charles. I don't know why I said it in a English accent. It's a Charles Leclerc. Let's see about growth. What happens here with growth? Solid growth, like is still expected to have consistent close to 20% year-over-year growth. Cash flow wise, let's see. Okay, cash flow wise, a bit less impressive for now. Although it might be here at an inflection point. So interesting. Market cap $11 billion, revenue probably on a year forward, probably $1 billion, so 11 times. 11 times sales for a company that's still expected to grow 20%. Compare that to the others, like a CrowdStrike or even a Palo Alto. Like Palo Alto is also trading at very high multiples, like $9.2 billion in revenue, 128. That's okay, so not that much of a difference. Like 12 times for sales for Palo Alto, 11 times for the other one. CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike is very expensive. It's the most expensive one, but also probably the highest quality name, I would say, something in my eyes. But yeah, with cybersecurity, you're always paying a premium. Yes, I didn't know that someone in the chat, out of the 700 people that are watching, would notice the Gattuso, quote here. SailPoint is Roberto. SailPoint is what I do for work. Well, voila. But I do think it's expensive. Yeah, but again, I think cybersecurity, the sector, is just super expensive. Like across the board, it's super expensive. CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, Zscaler is also expensive. Okta is not that expensive, but it's not really growing as fast as the other. Sentinel-1 also, I think, should be doing better. But yeah, Fortinet is a good one. Like Fortinet is like $58 billion market cap, revenue 6.3, but like the margins are very good. 81.3% gross profit margin, 30% operating, 30% net, 32% free cash flow margin. Yes, it's not growing as fast as the others, but it's still growing. Still growing PE wise, forward or trailing. It's not that high. So yeah, I don't have any cybersecurity name, like direct ones, and that's fine. But yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. What else do we have here? Did you see? Yeah, I mean that was from a long time ago, from a long time ago. I did meet Martin also in Miami. It's very nice actually. He's very nice. Um, change my potato picture, but Couch Investors potato picture has been here since day one. Um, I do have a photo shoot tomorrow for some headshots for future potential projects. Um, but yeah, maybe it has crossed my mind to change the profile picture after the 100K. It has crossed my mind. Let's see. The that's a question, right? That's a question. Nebius or Dlocal? Why not buy both? Like if you have $1,000, you put 500 in one, 500 in the second, because again, both of them are very good companies. The completely different industries, completely different sectors. Dlocal, of course, is one that is getting hit more, especially for some stupid reasons. Like why is the stock now down 21% after an excellent quarter and guidance? It's it's the market. In the short term, the markets might be completely nuts and irrational, but that's when the opportunities arise. I see that Iron is recovering the more I talk. That's not good. That's not good. Um, CrowdStrike did recover, right? After the. Oh, no, it recovered and it went back down. Okay. Because, I mean, CrowdStrike was down heavily after hours when they reported. And then we have this God candle because of that 40%, I believe, ARR expected growth thanks to AI and Falcon platform. And then, yeah, we went back down. We are now under the 200-day moving average for CrowdStrike. So we'll see if it can recover. It did recover in the past year from that 20-day 20-day moving average. It's a good company. I mean, it's a very, very good company that happened to have a a huge outage last year that caused quite a lot of issues around the globe. But the fact that it did not destroy the company probably means that the product is very good. Robinhood 102, looking good today, up 1.7% now. So it seems like we do have a little bit more red than green. Where is my PayPal? Ah, PayPal is still down. Go back up. Go back into the 70s. This is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Everyone is talking about wanting to buy the September dips, so we're not getting. Yeah, I mean, we are getting dips in certain names. Like certain names are pulling back for sure, and have started to pull back since the end of August. But you're not getting like a market crash, um, all in all. But you are getting name specific crashes. Like I mean, okay, Duolingo is a very very specific example here, but you are getting name specific pullbacks, maybe not crashes, pullbacks. Because even an Nvidia was at 185, or now at 170. So you have small pullbacks in those names. United Health is making a nice little base here, around $310. What is Apple doing? Apple went up because of that Google news, which was very good news. Reddit has been, I mean, look at this, also incredible. Like even after the earnings, this thing just kept on going up and up and up and up. Looked like a cup and handle type of pattern. Very good. Um, Rocket Lab, do I have it? Of course I have it. I have it since $4 and something something. So yeah, that's a 10x. I have it, and I will keep having Rocket Lab, and I will keep averaging up as well, um, because we're far away from the end game here, far away from the end game. Yeah, okay. This is one that I do want to address. Grab, because Grab is a company I touched on here, I think last year on the channel, first time. Then it went up, and of course, it got a lot of attention towards the end of 2024, beginning of 25. Now, I know this is quite frustrating, right? For a whole year, this has basically been at around the same price. But the thing with the Grab is the same thing that we've seen with another company in the other side of the world, in this case, Korea, and that's Coupang. Coupang, for a long period of time, did absolutely nothing, despite the company doing quite well. Then it started to go up. Like we were, so this February 24, $13, we're now at 28. So it did more than double in a year and a half. A Grab, right now, yes, it's been what is it, November 24. It's been, yeah, since then that it was at $5. The thing with the Grab here is that I think the expectations were very, very high for Grab because of just hype and people thinking that, oh, this might maybe be the next C Limited or whatnot, although it's a completely different company, but maybe they wanted um, the same reaction, right? Because I mean, C Limited has seen its stock go up from January 24, $35 to now $185. Insane performance here. Insane. But Grab is just a different company. Different company that's already worth, what was it, $20 billion in market cap, I think last time I checked. Let's see. Grab, yeah, $20 billion. Let's forget about the last five. Let's do this. Still up 70% over the last 3 years. Year to date, it's up 4.4%. But it's a company that's still expected to grow steadily. 20.5% compounded growth for the next 2 years. Margin wise, they are. I have indirect exposure to Grab through Uber, which is why I don't own Grab, because I own Uber and Uber has a stake in Grab, and that's good enough for me. It's also a company, again, it's not the cheapest one out there, but it's a company that's growing and will become more and more profitable in the future. The problem I think we've seen is that investors thought that this is going to be a $100 billion company this year. It's never going to happen. Okay. Can it become a $100 billion company in the future? Yes, it can, because Southeast Asia is very big. GDP growth in the countries that Grab operates is expected to grow rapidly, much faster than a lot of countries in the West. Grab being a big player there, whether it's through delivery, mobility, financial, maybe e-commerce if they do acquire another company, is bound to benefit from that. But these things do not happen overnight. It takes time. It takes time. So I think people might be disappointed with Grab, the stock, which, okay, if the expectations were sky high, then I understand, right? Didn't really move much, but the business is doing what it should be doing, and I think that's the most important part here. Yes, I did. I did a year ago. I am bullish. I don't own it, like I said. I have Uber, which Uber owns a stake in Grab, and that's about it. Um, AppLovin is a company that is growing very fast. There were some controversial takes about it. I think short seller report, etc., etc. But as you can see, this recovery here does not happen because, well, YOLO. It happens because the business continues to deliver the goods. I think it's a pretty good company. I don't own it, but I did start to follow it a little bit closer this year. As someone working with branding for 10 plus years, I love your brand. It's super cozy, unique, humble. It's a haven from market turnover for antsy investor. It's fun, sticks hours. It's personal. I appreciate the feedback. What is our open door doing today? For those that don't know, I do have a very small position in open. Open door is up another 5% today. This thing is crazy. Like I bought at $1 and more than 5x. It's crazy. But the thing here is that yes, we do have a lot of momentum in the stock, but macro wise, nothing changed just yet. Business wise, yes, there is a CEO that changed, but technically speaking, you do need to see the financials um, of the business improve. Um, so yeah, I do see that the market is taking a little bit of a hit right now because now we're really barely have like 75% red, 25% green in our watch list here. Um, and so things do become more interesting. Things do become more interesting, right? On Monday, the markets were closed. Tuesday, we had like a bad day in the market, but not as bad as to say that sticks out. Sorry. I mean, I've been talking for an hour and a half, so sometimes things don't click as fast. But again, thank you for the feedback. Yeah, I was early on open for once, and you can also check it because there is a video on the channel where I talk about it. And people were complaining, "Oh, you talk about it now when it's up another 12." It was up another 12% or so. I'm like, yeah, but if you believe in the turnaround story, what's 12%? And well, we're up 5x since. So yeah, with open to me, it's I already took some profit, so the money that's there is casino money, so I don't care. Like even if we go back to $1, okay, tough luck. But we'll see because the turnaround story could be very interesting. I don't think that we're going to see a Carvana type of turnaround anytime soon because Carvana's business did improve extremely, extremely well, extremely fast. For Open Door to do the same thing, the at the end of the day, the business has to prove that it's a good business. Until it doesn't, then forget about it. Um, and PayPal is, where is it? Now it's down 2.2%. Like on no news. Yesterday there was that Perplexity news that came out. So if you're in the US, you have PayPal Venmo. You can check if you're eligible for that Perplexity Pro subscription. It's free. You get it for 12 months, and you get also access to a Perplexity Comet. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Um, but yeah, PayPal that's an annoying one. I do still have my call options, of course, for PayPal. $100 March 26 and 120 January 27. We'll see. We'll see if it hits. We'll see if it hits. BMNR is wow. BMNR is down 7%, 7.6%. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Why is everything red? That's a good question. Why is everything red? Because it's September. It's September. Um, ETH is down 2.6. Okay, so ETH down 2.6, BMNR down 7.5. Okay. Um, but let me check if there is maybe some company specific news. Uh, we did have that small update right yesterday that they did acquire more Ethereum, but other than that, not much. I think. Let's see. BMNR. And again, don't forget with BMNR Bitmine, it's up 10x in the last 2 months. Mm, no, nothing. No news. No news. But I do want to touch really quick on this chart from this was from Tom Lee. So he says like we could like we've had that base after the 2017 bull run and then the winter that started in 2018, and then it went from um, $90 to 4,800, so a 54x. Could we see a 54x happen again? I don't think this comparison is quite fair because market cap wise, of course, we're much smaller here at 90 than we are here at 1,300. So to go from 1,300, which I don't know what the market cap was back then, and 54x that, that's quite the increase in market cap, and that's quite a lot of money that needs to flow in. Again, if the bull case does turn out to be true, right, that suddenly stock markets and whatnot, financial institutions and the rise of stable coins all happen on Ethereum, then okay, maybe. Um, what's the market cap of Ethereum right now? Market cap of Ethereum. What is this? What happened to coinmarketcap.com? Ah, okay. Market cap $524 billion. $524.8 billion. Now, of course, we are now at 4,300, so that's two and a half, 3x, sorry, 3x. So was at 100, let's go to 175 billion times 54. Yeah, 9.4 trillion. It's quite a lot of money. It's quite a lot. So don't get your hopes up, is basically what I want to say here. Don't get your hopes up with the 54x. Can it 10x? Yeah, it can 10x just based on adoption rates of stable coins and all of that. I think that's possible. That's possible for sure. I mean, we were at 160 not that long ago. This was insane. Like you go one day, let's say for some reason you decided to buy it at what was it here? Let's go at $5. And then a week later it's at 160. Incredible, no? Incredible, almost a 30x. More than a 30x in a week. It's mind-blowing stuff. Mind-blowing stuff. I don't know why PayPal is crashing. I mean, do we even have to ask why PayPal is not going up? I don't know. I think as long as I hold PayPal, it will not move. It's like a curse that the market put on me. But yeah, couple of extra things here. I do own Duolingo a little bit. Of course, I am down. And as you can see, we are at the same point the stock bottomed back in March and April. Could we go lower? We can always go lower, but I could maybe take my chances and start to add here, just based on the valuation and the business performance. But yeah, Duolingo is a very like I want to fast forward 3 months just to get the upcoming earnings report, see that the business is doing very well. The market's like, oh damn it, we should have known. Suddenly the stock pops. Of course, the worst case scenario is that suddenly we have another quarter where maybe monthly active users were not growing as fast as expected, or worst case scenario is daily active users dropped. I think that's the worst case scenario. If daily active users dropped, I think that's wouldn't be the best thing. Although you might say, yeah, but it's because of the summer vacation. Maybe people are less on their phone. Although I don't buy this. People are less on their phone. People are on their phone constantly. But yeah, it's an interesting one to follow. It's an interesting one to follow. And look, I'm not married to the stock. If really AI is destroying the business, then okay, in the future I'll take my losses and invest in something else, and admit I was wrong. That's it. Since when do you do live streams? This is the 80th time I do a live stream. So since 80 times ago, I guess. I usually do it with a co-host that's in Florida chilling right now, Jose. We do market opens and then some big earnings reports and market closes, like Nvidia, PayPal, SoFi, AMD, stuff like that. Google. Although with Google this year, this quarter, I was uh, I was almost dying. I was almost dying. What's going on with PayPal? I still do not see any news. I do not see any news with PayPal. If someone does see any news, do let me know, because it is very interesting to see PayPal come down almost 4% because of nothing. But then again, this also means they can buy more shares. They can buy more shares, and the more shares they buy, um, the better, I guess, the better it is for us. But I don't know. I don't know why PayPal is down. So let me just ask on X, why is PayPal down today? Well, you don't know, you just ask and you hope that someone else knows. RA, thank you very much for a super chat. Really appreciate that. And I do appreciate everyone that is in here, whether it's the morning, the afternoon, maybe late evening. I really do appreciate that. Of course, the more people that are here, the more enjoyable these streams are. Um, but I also do understand that you have usually your usual morning market open with the other Amit, not the white Amit, the other Amit. But anyways, I do appreciate you um, joining me here on this wonderful Thursday. Okay. So apparently there is a Goldman conference happening right now for PayPal. Someone says it does not sound good. I don't like the sound of that. I do not like the sound of that. Um, People realizing it's dead money. I mean, right now right now you should not be realizing it's dead money. It's today might be the opportunity to buy it, but yeah, going back a year ago, then you can say it would be dead money. I still think it's going to outperform from here. It's just like it's so cheap compared to what they actually produce. It's insane. But then again, I've been saying it for quite a while. So yeah, apparently there is an event right now. Let's see if I can pull it up or not. I don't know. Where is this Goldman event? September 9. We're not September 9 today. I know, September 4th. Jeffries. Jeffries. Mark. It's a Jeffries one. Okay. It's a Jeffries one with the CFO. Um, we're not going to listen to it right now, but I will listen to it probably later and probably do a recap video because we have Oscars conference, we have an AMD conference that we can go over it, and um, then we have PayPal right now. I'm pretty sure that all the other companies that most of us follow will have conferences today, for sure. Okay, so it's basically more of the same thing, and the market maybe is not impressed by it. I will have a listen. I will have a listen to it later today, and then I'll cover it. I'll cover it in a specific video, so you don't have to listen to the whole conference. And I'll do the same with the other. I'll do the same with the other companies. What are your thoughts on AI drones and defense stocks? I mean, if only Anduril would have been a publicly traded company, it would have simplified my life a little bit because I would be buying Anduril for sure. The problem that I have here is that one, I do hope that they don't IPO but DPO like Palantir, and two, I hope that they don't do it when they're like worth $100 billion. Um, but yeah, Anduril is probably the one. I know that you want to talk about maybe Ondas. Ondas Holdings is one. Maybe Dragonfly is another one. What's the other one's name? Kratos Defense is another one. AVAV, so AeroVironment, I think is another player. What else? I do plan on making a specific robotics and drones video, like picking four stocks. The robotics one, I'll already tell you right now, it's going to be Intuitive Surgical, especially because we are seeing the stock pull back, tariff impact, etc., etc. But it's wait, ah, but it is now a much better price for a very, very good company. Yeah, it's not your usual robotics name that you might want to hear. Symbiotic is another one. Symbiotic or symbiotic, but I think it's Symbiotic is another name that I will touch on. It's very interesting. Um, Intuitive Surgical is a very good company that is always trading at a premium, but right now I do think it's becoming a lot more interesting for sure. Um, yes, exactly the three names. The three names. Although I will have to warn people that don't get too excited because most of these names, especially the smaller ones, have gone up significantly. Have gone up significantly in anticipation of the future earnings and revenue growth, which means you don't have to chase it because you will always get better opportunities. You will always get better opportunities out there. Um, mm, mm, mm. Let's see. Let's see if someone else responded with maybe a little bit more, with a little bit more information. We have Emir saying it's never up. Yeah, I know it's never up, but why is it down another 4%? Well, this also means that my options are probably getting crushed today. Because if the stock is down 4%, I would assume that my options are down significantly today. But yeah, I'll have to listen to see what the heck's going on there. I don't know about you, but me personally, I am going to buy Dlocal once I'm off the live stream. Going to buy Dlocal. I have to eat something because I didn't finish my salad. Um, tuna salad with cottage cheese. Need to increase the protein intake, or else the muscles will not grow. Yeah, Rich Tech Robotics is also a name that you've been putting in the chat. It's RR, right? I thought this was Rolls Royce, which it is, but it's another stock exchange. But this one is also an annoying thing is the market. It's like every company that mentions Nvidia, for whatever reason, suddenly pops. Like nothing in that tweet about Nvidia or them using Nvidia. What was it, Jetson? Okay, cool. You're using it, whatever. Like it's not really a huge business impact or whatnot. But okay, fine. You know what? I'll include it in the in the list. Do I have to make a video on options? I think the other Amit has a good video on options that explains everything. Like I didn't touch options until last month because I rather just hold shares and be done with it. But last month I said, you know what? I've been holding Intel for a while. Might be a good idea to buy $30 call option January 27. The timing of it was insane because we know what happened with Intel afterwards. And then I said the same thing about PayPal, and here the timing is not that good, but I still think it will work out. I mean the March $100 ones maybe a bit more risky, although I am giving them two quarters plus maybe two potential rate cuts, and then the January 27 I gave them more than a year. So, of course, the sooner we reach $100, the better it will be for those call options. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not that good yet with options like the whole selling puts, cash secured, whatever. go to Amit or who's also good with options. I don't know. There are plenty of free videos on the internet that are good with options. Exactly, the other Amit. Um, Pedro, I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate consistent good info you provide for the community. Also, best to Jose and the family. We live in the best of times. It's a great day to be a capitalist. We That is very true. That is very true. And hopefully, Jose does come back next week with a lot of energy that he picked up in Florida. And Roberto, if you're still here, I do think that Jose cashed in his uh, his applied digital bet and bought a mansion in Florida. Giorgio Armani passed away. I didn't even know he was still alive. Wait, what? Giorgio Armani. Are you sure? Ah, yeah. Huh. Correct. He was. Oh well. He lived a good life. He lived a good life. Um, but may he rest in peace. 91 years old. Created one heck of a brand. Um, created one heck of a brand. Yes. Yeah, TJ. TJ is also a very good follow for options and yeah, wheeling and all of that. TJ is definitely that was the name actually I was looking for. Um, very good guy. Also very very transparent. Um, goes over the moves, explains it. So yeah, Jared, 100% correct. 100% correct. Um, let's see. Let's see. Basic knowledge, Neil. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um, I see you. I see you though in the comments. What else? What else do we have here? We have okay, a little bit more. Intel is green. That is something. But the PayPal move is. I am now very curious to listen to that conference. Um, so everyone, the answer I got from my post on X is because it's PayPal. So that's very useful. Someone did tag me in a post sharing something quite interesting. There is a Nike ad in the PayPal app. So we've known about PayPal's move towards advertisement, and now we are actually seeing some placements. In this case, it's Nike. So that's quite good because it's all about the ecosystem, right? It's all about the PayPal ecosystem. Um, who's TJ? I will put the link in the chat in a second. It's all about the PayPal ecosystem. Imagine you're in Venmo because Venmo is in the United States, or just the PayPal app, but it's not as developed in Europe as it is in the United States. You see this, right? You see this. You click on Shop Now. It already has your profile. It already knows your size. You don't have to do a lot more, right? You click, you buy, you're done. Of course, you choose your pair, right? You're done. Also, it can offer you cashback, right? You can offer you cashback. It can offer you discounts as well. It's basically the whole e-commerce experience, payment experience in one app. The return, of course, on investment. By the way, is it me or is this guy's nails very very dirty? What the heck is this? Let me zoom in. Yeah, it's either extremely dirty or they painted his nails like a weird color. Oh, look at this. We have the OG Amit here. Amit, if you're watching this, people call me now the white Amit for some reason. Um, but I hope you have a good show later today. Because I was wondering, you were either traveling or doing some work with the new apartment. And well, we figured out that it's AIPCon 8 that you're probably traveling to. And so voila. But shout out to the couch, shout out to the real Amit, and good luck later today with the presentation. But anyways, going back to the PayPal ecosystem thing, it makes a lot of sense to integrate ads, share buybacks, cashbacks, promotions, e-commerce, and this decision of this dirty nail is very, very questionable. Like I don't understand the logic behind this, but okay. Even if it's painted, what the heck? It's very, very strange. But yeah, the reason why PayPal is down is probably because the comments on the call are on the conference is not as exciting. Plus, yes, it is PayPal, so it would have been a very big surprise to see the stock actually go up. It's too much to ask, I think. It's too much to ask. What are our software names doing today? Okay. Salesforce is now only down 6% after being down, well, quite a lot more. So we do have some buyers for Salesforce. Do we have some buyers for GitLab? Mixed bag for GitLab. Figma was down 20% when the market opened, and now it's down 18. Okay, so we did find a little bit of buyers. What is Adobe doing? Huh. So yeah, Adobe also got hit back to last month's bottom here. It's like a wee U-turn. It's like Grandpa Simpson, he enters in the bar, puts his hat on the thing, turns around, takes the hat, and goes away. It's basically this. And Adobe reports next week. I did actually send. I am communicating with someone with Adobe. I did ask them if I could interview one of the people in Adobe after the earnings call to talk about the company, the financials, and their AI strategy. We'll see if we get an answer this week. So that could be interesting. That could be interesting. So yeah, mixed market reaction today. There are definitely some opportunities out there in names like Dlocal, I would say. Maybe Bitmine if you're interested in that. Duolingo, I think, could be interesting, although maybe you might want to wait until it bottoms. Someone's screaming open. What is open? 5 points. Oh, another 11%. Okay. Up we go. Where is Rocket? AST is down another 7. Okay. 200-day moving average sits at $34 and something, so that's fine. So I mean, I'm not saying it's going that low, but if you do want to own more shares of that company, you might have an opportunity. Where is Rocket Lab? Here. It's green. Okay, so that's good. Rocket Lab really holds well here, that 50-day moving average. Pas mal, not bad. Okay, with that, let's quickly look at the heat map before actually doing something today, although it's almost the end of the day here. So as you can see, the markets are not that bad in September. We do have a little bit of red for Google, but not by much. Amazon is green because of the Anthropic thing that we've talked about before. Software names are still getting crushed. Even those that did not report, they get crushed because someone else reported. So that's why you're seeing a ServiceNow down another 3.4%. Tremendous company, ServiceNow. But they just don't have the momentum. Last super chat here. Thank you very much for that. About Circle at 160. It's probably at 120 right now. thoughts on applied materials. Look, with Circle, it's of course betting on the rise of stable coins, specifically USDC. You're also, don't forget, you're playing a game here with interest rates, right? Because they're making quite a lot of money now that rates are up with interest income. And so, yeah, I don't know what price you should be paying for a company like Circle. That's the thing. I have exposure to stable coins through a PayPal, for example, with their own stable coin. I think SoFi is going to work on it. I think Dlocal is going to work with it. Um, so Circle can be a very good choice, especially if USDC does get adopted by a lot of big companies out there, because essentially that's what's need to happen is a huge increase in adoption. Um, and applied material, if you want to get exposure to semiconductor equipment makers, I do think that ASML and Lam Research are better picks. And that's something we've said on the live stream with Jose for quite a while. I think ASML and Lam Research are better picks for semiconductor equipment makers. And Augusto, thank you very much. I will have a double espresso right after this. I will have a double espresso right after this. With that, I do appreciate all of you joining me for this past 2 hours. One hell of a live stream. One hell of a live stream. I do have to thank the real Amit for it. So thank you very much. I do hope you travel each and every day from now on. But yeah, jokes aside, take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Don't stare at your screen and at the tickers too much. Some things go down, some things go up. Maybe you find a good deal and you'll buy, and you'll be happy that you bought a good company that's trading at a discount. You look back at it a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, you're like, wow, couldn't imagine that was able to buy this stock at this price. It's insane. Now we're up 2x, 5x, or whatever. Buy good companies at good prices. You'll sleep very well at night. Thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see each other in the next one. Probably not tomorrow, but I do have a video coming out later today. But we will see each other Monday morning with Jose, hopefully back from Florida. So